The 10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
Covered by Universal Roof and Contracting. The difference is Universal.
On 1010XL.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hit it. All right, we got some sports concepts and rationalizations coming your way. We call it the 10-minute drill. At the end of the drill, we will hand out a prize pack, so stay tuned for that. At 641-1010, Beef will let us know what that is momentarily. Listen, Jada Lucas, shout out to Jada Lucas and the team that never quit. Let's hear it for Hartford women. Who?
What are we doing?
Who went into their game last night, the only Division I program this season, women or men.
Without a win?
Without a dub.
Good for it.
But not only did they go out there and win, they beat Stony Brook, who, well, they're the American East champion. So
wow.
73 to 70.
Sports, huh?
It's the first win in Morgan Valley's head coaching career, which may not last long. The Hawks are 1-28.
Sounds like my Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah, 1-28. They got their first win last night. The top 8 teams in the 9-team American East advanced to the conference tournament. So that was the finale for the Hawks. They didn't make the tournament.
Oh, that's too bad.
And they beat the number 1 team. They beat a team that was like 28-2.
Yeah, I mean,
Can you figure that out?
Does the season end and you go home and you're like, wow, we really missed opportunity this year.
Yeah.
Perhaps we should have been better.
Yeah.
Dan, look, I kind of started the day with this, and it's the 10-10 take presented by Performance Painting, and that is, the one thing that gets lost yet magnified every time that we get a professional league in a work stoppage is just how little a care they have for the fans. I mean, I really do. And I'm not just trying to do the whole pander to the fan thing, but I really wish there was a way that our voices could be heard. As I sit here and watch these billionaires and these $100 million men argue over how to split a $5 billion pot, and yet know that we're just going to be, it's just going to cost more and more for us. They don't give a crap about us. I mean, they take home games away. Ticket prices go up. They charge $10 for 50-cent water. And yet we know they have so much money that guys making $100 million can say, well, no, this isn't good enough yet. I wish they would just put them on a gag order. And I'd have to listen to Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers and Richard Sherman, talk about the dire straits that they're in.
I tried to include us a couple weeks ago and get $1 waters, $1.50 hot dogs, and $10 or less for preseason games.
Yeah.
That's all I asked for, and it fell on deaf ears. Nobody was interested.
I guess it's bothering me.
And I think, quite honestly, I'm kind of I kind of lean towards the players on this.
Yeah.
If I were the player, I don't know if I would vote yes for this.
I don't lean on either one of them.
I think there's something deeper here. I think this is a brilliant strategy by the billionaire club, the owners, to prey on the
lower paid ones.
lower players, the proletariat, if you will, the working class, better dead than red, who will make, in their minds, will get $100,000 more a year, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And the reality, though, is the owners are cashing in here with a lot of chips, and it's a 10-year deal. Why, if you're a player, would you go 10 years? That's a long time, man.
Well, because you can't have this kind of upheaval every 5 years. It's just you'd
There's
never
no
get
upheaval,
comfortable.
dude. We're ahead of the game.
Yeah, we are now. But
not an ounce of upheaval.
One of these times there's not going to be, or there's going to be a hot button
There's
issue.
always been upheaval. We're going to go 40 years here without
you don't want to
without
CBA
any labor
every 5
unrest.
years, Dan. You don't want that every 5 years.
I don't know.
My point, more than doing anything for us, is I don't want to hear you guys argue because I 1,000% disagree. I don't agree with either side.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about greed, pure, unadulterated greed. This is the best example you could ever come up with. And like I said, water will still be $12 though, because they don't give a damn about you, your eyes, your ears, your impact, your loyalty. I mean, it's so and I know we kind of half argue, but there's such a disconnect when you have guys talking publicly about $700,000 not being enough while the $40,000 guy's buying season tickets. I mean, at some point, it's going to bite you in the ass, man. That's human nature.
Well, it hasn't in a long time, so why would it now?
Because again, there's just it's untoward to me. I mean, I would shoot down every point that Russell Wilson's made. You've been playing for 8 years, you made $130 million. You've never been injured. So save me the dire, death-defying afternoon that you have every Sunday. You know, most people don't get injured catastrophically or otherwise. Most people get cycled out of the league because they're not good enough to be in the league.
Yeah.
I
was reading some of Calais' tweets. I thought he was.
Do we know who abstained?
No.
No.
I don't know, but I was reading some of his tweets, and I thought he made it some good points.
Which side did he fall on?
He basically said he said, fact, all players now have a chance to educate themselves on the proposed CBA. Everyone has a vote and a voice. And having just went through hours and hours of discussion, it ain't easy. Most reps were torn on which way to vote. So I encourage all of you to get with your reps, empower yourself so you can make an informed decision. There are a lot of details in this proposal that are not in the term sheet that was leaked. I was told we have approximately 2 weeks before the players will vote, so start preparing now. Whether you like or dislike this proposal, your reps need to hear from you, and your voice needs to be heard with your vote. So I think that's perfect, you know? You make your own. Listen, there's 2,000 players, right? Is that right?
Basically,
Roughly.
I think that's been thrown around.
So if there's 2,000 players, getting all of them to agree to one thing is tough. Heck, getting all 32 owners to agree is tough. So, you know, you're not going to get. You're going to have. That's why you have to have majority rules with the players. And like I said, I think the owners very smartly position this where the lower tier guys, you know, there's a majority of them, and what they say will ultimately decide what happens. And if you're a lower tier guy, and this is a business where, you know, you have to do what's best for you. If you're offering me an extra $100,000 a year, and I'm making $600,000, that's a nice raise. I'm taking it.
Yeah, it is. And
so,
most
in that respect, I see.
And don't lose sight of this.
Side.
And don't lose sight of this. And I don't know if those players have.
But I think that was that was a smart negotiating ploy by the owners who ultimately will get what they want.
Now, I'm not talking about Gardner Minshew because he obviously became a quarterback. But I would suggest most of the players making $600,000 are making more than they deserve. You're making $600,000. Does the phrase "for the love of the game" even exist anymore? Does anyone play because they love football anymore or sport, or is it all about collective bargaining agreements and salary? I wonder. I mean, I do.
You want them to play for free?
Definitely don't want them to play for free, Dan. But I'm still kind of sick about a world where we characterize a $700,000 salary as, oh, that's nothing. That you're behind the eight ball when you come out of that contract. It's mind-boggling to me.
Well, if it's 2 or 3 or 4 years, you know, it is what it is. I mean, that's
fine. That's a 2 or 3, 4 year head start, not a setback.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, that's just me. I'm going to be that way. I don't believe in either side.
Yeah.
They can both hockey stick it to me. My God, man. I mean, the answer, how much is enough, the answer is pretty clear at this point. There is no enough. There is no enough. There's always going to find a reason why you should have more. And that's not just football players. That's all of us that work just on a smaller scale.
I think the one of the really good untold stories right now are what in the NBA are what the Houston Rockets are up to. They went small ball. They got rid of one of their favorites in Capella, and they have taken off, and they're playing great basketball with like a 6'5" team and under. And Russell Westbrook, since the start of the year, is
30 points every game,
red hot. And the Rockets are, you know, moving up the charts. They're now the 4 seed. And chasing down the Clippers and the Nuggets, and
they've got enough seasoned talent, guys that have made deep runs in the playoffs with Westbrook and Harden, that the Lakers and/or the Clippers better watch out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think the Rockets could beat the Lakers. You're darn right, I do. Absolutely.
Well, so I think that's been an interesting story, and I thought John Morant added something last night when he said, Russell Westbrook doesn't get enough credit for how he plays, and anyway, just something from the association last night. As we are now, gosh, we only got like 20 games left before the playoffs, in all honesty. I mean, yeah, they're about at, 60 games now, right? 55 to 60 games. So 25 games left, roughly, for these NBA teams as we start to make the turn here, 3/4 of the way through the season. Knicks did a good job losing to Charlotte last night. We're now tied with the Hawks and the Cavs with 17 wins. I'm proud of them and their efforts as we've suddenly lost 5 straight. Let's keep that rolling. Cavs have come out of nowhere to win 2 in a row, shockingly. So some things happening for them. Good to see my closer start off with a strong outing in the spring as he goes out and throws one inning, gives up a couple runs. But don't worry, Mets fans, no cause for concern. Oh, no. Oh, no. You guys lost to the Orioles, I noticed, so you're down there at the bottom of the Grapefruit League with the Metropolitans right now. Is that a worry?
Are you talking about preseason baseball, the Grapefruit League?
We call it exhibition, yeah.
Yeah. When do the playoffs for that start again?
There's no playoffs.
Oh, is there a World Series?
The hottest team right now.
Is there any recognition for
hottest
victories?
team right now? The Miami Marlins. They're 5-0.
Well, break them up.
Yeah,
break them up right now. Clearly, they're going to win it all.
Giancarlo who?
Giancarlo has another
jackass.
soft tissue injury.
Yeah, this guy's unbelievable. This guy talked about hitting 90 home runs.
Oh,
hey, Giancarlo,
man.
you left out one big part of hitting 90. Your brittle, soft shell won't ever play enough games to hit 90.
Giancarlo.
It's like J.J. Watt commenting on the 17-game schedule. J.J., feel free to play 14 one year before we start worrying about 17.
Yeah.
I mean, my man J.J. Watt had played 16 games in 5 years, and he's worried about his 17th?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, not good. Not good.
Hey, what has led to the unbelievable prevalence and almost the cheapness of the triple-double in the NBA? Heck, we would go years where there'd be a handful. Luka Doncic last night became the Mavericks franchise leader in triple-doubles. He's been with them for a week and a half.
Cup of coffee.
It's unbelievable. I mean, unbelievable stat explosion that I guess we just gotten so used to it. Maybe it was Russ's one incredible year where, I can't be that big a deal. But the percentage increase in triple-doubles is probably
I guess you have to give Oscar Robertson a lot of credit because he was certainly ahead of his time.
Yeah, he did it
with
before
that.
anyone did.
I mean, way before.
I mean, there was Oscar Robertson and Hick when we were younger. Magic would have a handful. Alvin Robertson was a guy who was known probably almost exclusively because he was a triple-double guy. If Alvin Robertson of the Bucks out of Arkansas wasn't getting triple-doubles, you wouldn't remember him any more than you remember, Paul Pressey. But because he was a triple-double guy, whereas now, I mean, they all get I bet a night doesn't go by in the NBA there's not a triple-double. The totals are just crazy.
Yeah, yeah. The quarterback carousel will start spinning in earnest here with free agency, coming, and of course, the Tom Brady thing will continue to be of interest to everyone. Does he end up going back to New England? Is that just the ultimate? Is that, or will the Raiders actually go chase him? Will Tennessee chase him? Will Tampa Bay chase him?
Probably depends on what's most important. If you're Tom Brady, don't you think? What do you think is most important? To win a championship? Because if it's I would be surprised if it weren't. Well, then it's so obvious what the choice is. His best chance to win a championship is New England, but not even close. You can go win a championship with the Raiders, play the Chiefs and the Chargers each 4 times.
No, but you could. But
Tampa, you're not winning one.
Why not?
Because you're Tampa Bay, Hick. You're not even going to the Super Bowl, much less win it.
I'm sure he thinks if he leaves New England, 50% of that success up there leaves with him.
I think ultimately when Tom Brady makes his decision and he has his press conference, the narrative is going to be, yeah, you guys were way off on this one the whole time. We were never leaving here. I think that's what's going to.
I don't think he'll say that because I think he wants to go through the free agency.
We may do that first.
He wants to. Yeah. He wants to see what it's like. He wants to be wooed. He wants to be,
Or maybe he's. You know what? We haven't talked about that could be what he's looking for. Mm-hmm. He could be looking for someone to give him that guaranteed 3 years that gets him to 45 like he wants.
Yeah.
Maybe the Patriots give him the best job and they're willing to give him a 2-year, $60 million contract, but Bill Belichick tells him that second year we're going to have to do that team option. He probably doesn't want anything like that. He wants to have the comfort and the parachute here of his last contract of controlling it.
Well, it was interesting last year. We saw a little bit with him of Tom Brady's 16 of 29 for 220 yards, or one touchdown with 33 pass attempts, or 15 of 29. Now again, those percentages are lower partly because maybe of Tom Brady, but you could see the frustration on him during the games, man. The receivers were just not
He was
very good on the same
page. He was also not as good this year, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll depend, in part what they do in free agency. I mean, are they going to swing a trade for Stephon Diggs, say? Are they going to try and get Odell Beckham Jr.?
I'm sure he wants to see that.
They
sign Hunter Henry or Hooper.
I'll tell you what else very quietly put them off track.
Sign my guy Hooper, New England.
You know what? Very
Don't
quiet.
you do it.
Yeah, he'd probably be good there.
Could we interest you in a slightly?
Let me tell you what would happen. It'd be nice to put up the side-by-side graphic you see on SportsCenter as if it's already happened. Austin Hooper 2020 Jaguar stats, and then on the other side, Austin Hooper 2020 Patriot stats.
Mm-hmm.
And on one side, you see 44 catches for 388 yards. On the other, you see 70 for 912 touchdowns.
Why would you do that?
What do you mean?
I don't like
suggest that.
I don't like that.
Right. Just kind of pointing out the obvious difference between the Pats and the Jags these days.
You are a hater.
Yeah, thank you.
No, I'm a realist, is what I am. Yeah.
I don't
100%.
I don't appreciate that whatsoever.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we'll see as we inch closer to free agency. We got a lot to do today. We're going to catch up with Doc Murphy, get some interesting takes from him, and talk about John Carlos Stanton and some other stuff coming up here in just a few minutes.
John Carlos Stanton just released by the the news released by the Yankees. He's actually made of Play-Doh.
Beef, what are we handing out today, friend?
Kind of like your guy. Who was the Gator linebacker you said was made of peanut brittle?
Yeah, that was Anzalone.
Anzalone.
Yeah.
We're going to give one lucky Guggen, Dan, a floral arrangement from our pals over at Kuhn Flowers.
Let's see if you're quick on the trigger today, and we'll take caller number 1 at 641-1010.
Boom.
To pick up those Kuhn flowers, and you can make somebody in your life's day very special.